Alright, let's try this again. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of Banter Blitz with Jan Gustafsson. I'm Jan Gustafsson, in case you wondered. I believe this is episode number 67. My new goal in life is to get to number 100 ASAP and then take it from there. Because I learned that once you reach round milestones like that, your life quality really goes up big time. As for the rules of this beautiful program, you can challenge me to a 5-minute game if you are a Chess24 premium member, and then I might or might not accept your challenge, depending on availability. Does that make any sense? It's not the right word, is it? I did learn that the greatest ability is availability. That's my true skill. I'm normally around to do one of these Banter Blitzes if I can keep my eyes open. So let's get this thing rolling. I don't have any talking points. I'm really sleepy. I had a huge pizza for lunch, which was a real bad mistake. I feel slightly vampire-y, which is normally not a great state of mind, but I'll still try to crush you all. And the emphasis here is on try, because as Yoda said, there is no try, just do. But I have a feeling today is no can-do'sville, and I will start testing myself by playing a very strong player in the first game. That's normally a mistake, because, you need to warm up. Stretching is very important. Also, did I check if we have the sound on? I guess we have the sound on. He goes e4, I will go e5. That's not the most aggressive move, but the only move that I'm good at. Keeping, your stake in the center. I dabble, well, I've said all the same things a bazillion times. I dabble in other openings, but I only feel comfortable in this position or in the one after bishop e7. Sadly, but truthfully. a4, in this move order, bishop g4 is kind of legal. Do I go bishop g4? Yeah, let's change it up. Rook b8 is by far the main line and the move I would normally go for. I'm not a big bishop g4 guy because I believe that white is better after this h3 business. Now takes, rook takes a8 and d3. And yeah, I could never really get this to work. Here, hang on, how did I want to do this? I have to go h6? No, I can't go h6 because of takes. takes, and bishop takes h6. And I also couldn't go knight to d7, which I would have liked to because of bishop to d5. So I had to allow this. And I'm already unhappy with life, my choice of opening, my winning chances. What else? No, that's about it. But mainly my choice of opening and my winning chances. Because here, I guess, it's not dramatic, but I'm probably slightly worse with very limited upside, which is not ideal coming straight out of the opening. I'm wondering, if you do a movie called Straight Out of the Opening, would it be a hit at the box office? Possibly not, right? I enjoyed Straight Outta Compton, but I have a feeling Straight Out of the Opening would not have the same amount of success. What can I do here? I don't know. My king has to get out of this diagonal. I don't like my king there. First I want a king h8, dreaming of some action on the g-file. But I did not really see any action on the g-file in the cards. So I went here, where maybe one day or another the king can go to f6. Whatever, blah, 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 roughly equal position. Not the greatest opening choice ever made. What's the new f4? Can you do that? Alright, let's see what happens. First I shall go here, hoping to somehow grab a pawn, knight f3, ef. So he probably won't allow me to do so and play whatever, rook d1. When I might think about, and probably dismiss, but I might still think about it, something like b4. Can I go b4? Knight c4, bc, knight e3, rook b3. Who knows? Feels a bit fishy. Fishy Anand. But I'm trying to mix it a little bit. And if I manage to provoke c4, at least that's a positional accomplishment. Because then his bishop, looks a little funny. So I was thinking knight c4, bc3, knight e3, rook b3, and at least things have gotten a little messier. Because, well, I'm not really a joker type of chess player that enjoys watching the chessboard burn, contrary to popular belief. No, no one believes that. I do try to mix it a little bit to create winning chances, once in a while. Looks like mix it I did. I'm still not sure if I'm better. D-E, D-E, rook c3. Can I win this? If I start with rook c3, what happens? E-D, C-D, what's the pawn count? One pawn up. I don't know which one gives me better chances. I'll try this one. Ooh, that was a weird cuff. Not a very confident cuff. All right, how can I win this? Rook d3 takes, rook d5, probably a draw. e3, probably also a draw. Probably all the lines are drawn. All the good lines are drawn. So, do I have to go for a bad line? Nah. e3, rook d5. There's also no real way forward, is there? Rook e8. Maybe I have to try this. It doesn't exactly look winning either, to be frank with you, but these ed3 positions, even though I would have emerged the pawn up, really felt too drawish. Well, this, you know, on a good day, the e-pawn might do some damage. Rook c2 check, king f3, rook f2. Things could still happen. Let's make something happen. I should stop this leaning back. Makes me look very out of shape. Well, I'm in great shape. Not great shape, but, you know, working on the Thailand shape. I've become this dude that I was made fun of in my 20s when, yeah, I was just lying on my couch until I decided to randomly go somewhere that's actually looking forward to his Thailand. Well, it's not really holiday since I'll be playing the Thailand Open. It's Thailand vacation. So very much looking forward to that. We'll bring the whole family, so that's gonna be new. Anyway, let's somehow win this game. But how? Rook f2, rook f1, right? e2, rook e1. I don't know, man. Maybe this? Nah, this looks dumb. No, rook e1, yeah. Haven't made a lot of headway. Oh, Technica. Is Technica the correct pronunciation? I believe it is. Rook d4. What does he want? Rook g5, rook g4. Can I win that? Takes e2, king g6. Probably not. So hard to win anything in this town. Alright, I'll try this, see what happens. Probably g4 is actually better than rook g4. Yeah, he should go g4, which keeps the position pretty drawn. Rook g4 might also be a draw. Maybe there's some hope there. You never know. He goes g4. Yeah. I'll keep messing around, but have a feeling this might not be quite enough. Nah. It's just a draw, is it not? Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do, frankly. Playing for a loss here, that's normally a surefire way to lose. But if you can't win, might as well try something else. Is there any last tricks? Not really. Nope. He's earned his draw, so let's offer it. Draw. Good game, Prince Baijai. Sorry for bungling that name. Well played, never really got close to a win there. I had some hopes when we reached this rook endgame. But first of all, I think it's objectively just a draw because my pawns are too disconnected. And secondly, yeah, I couldn't find any real try. So good game by the prince. Let's play somebody else who's not a prince. Because, you know, if you had to play royalty every game, this stuff is gonna get too tough. No offense to my next opponent, who might very well be royalty without me knowing about it. Like Jose Amar. What does the Amar stand for? Jose Antonio Martinez? That's a fair guess, come on. Gotta give me that, Jose Amar. That is probably your most probable name. B3. Seldomly seen in this particular move order. Not necessarily bad, but it still makes me spring into action with C5. Of course, yeah, there's nothing wrong with whatever, bishop G7, D6 and whatnot, but such an early B3 makes me change plans to, I don't know, some sort of reverse Catalan, is that what you could call it? DC5 is always a bit of a question mark in these positions. From my experience, most people that enjoy these quiet setups won't do it very early on. But now after A3, if I were to play bishop G7, then DC5, there doesn't seem to be any easy way to get the pawn back. So I'm gonna throw in CD4. After ED, I'll happily continue developing. This structure, it's a weird structure. It's this Carlsbad structure with colors reversed. But both sides have pieces slightly misplaced for this Carlsbad structure. My bishop shouldn't normally be on G7. Much rather be on D6 here. The white bishop doesn't have a whole lot to do on B2 either, where it's basically staring at his own pawn. Now, what can I do? Knight E4 followed by F5 is kind of typical play. Bishop G4 is always an option. Could also go B6, bishop G7, bishop B7. I'll go with door number 3. Play bishop F5 here. Encourage this exchange of bishops, which slightly weakens my king side and my pawn formation, but also increases my grip on the E4 square. So now I can follow up with, I'm not going to do it yet, but in the near future, knight to E4, when all my pieces seem to be operating at pretty decent capacity. I'm just making up words. That's why my verbal cadence is so messed up. Because in my brain it's one word at a time. Like, when I said I didn't know that time was gonna come. I just got lucky there. What are we discussing in the chat? Yes, of course, but you can the time to use to learn some rock endgame. I'm not following, my dear boy. Tough on the old ego at times. Very tough. What's that? His knowledge of opening is so gorgeous. Are you guys bullying me for my lack of rook endgame skills? Nah, I think I played that one alright for my admittedly limited capacities. But can't win them all. I thought Mr. Prince played a good game. Mr. Jose Amar is still pretty much in the game. But after a CD5, Queen D5, I believe I'll have some pressure. Knight takes E4. Do I go FE or DE? I don't know. Could make a case for either. I think I'll go DE. He has to go knight to E5 as far as I can see. And then I'll try to win this pawn. Same old procedure, trying to grab pawns with takes and queen c7. Queen d6 doesn't work because of takes and bishop takes b2. So f4 is possible, but it would give me a nice pass pawn on e4, and I could go rook d8, rook d3 or whatnot. Probably with a decent position. Queen d4 is the move I was expecting, and I'm not sure if queen a7 is a threat. If I can go rook fd8, allow queen a7, or if I should take a time out, play b6, then rook d8 next. Both look possible. Queen h5. Can I take, or am I running into some nasty queen g5, king h8? I don't know, man. I'm greedy. Feeling it should all work. My queen is defended, which sometimes matters, so there's no cross pins. Queen g5, queen f4. Well, here rook e3 looks slightly worrying, but nothing too scary. Still, not an easy position, because, well, I would like to go rook d8 for starters, but then he takes and queen g5 check and takes my rook, so that's not ideal. And if I play some move safeguarding my king, like queen f6, then rook d7 is a bit annoying. So, yeah, my dear boy Jose Amar is playing well. I'll go here, but it feels a little uncomfortable. Actually, rook d8 might be a strong move. Or queen g5 followed by... No, queen g5, I got queen g7. But yeah, rook d8 I didn't see coming. Well, I did see it coming now, but I did not see it coming when I made my original move. And it might pose some problems. We'll find out. My jack is dirty? I'm so sorry. Now I'm all self-conscious, adding to my chess worries. Dirty jacket. What else are we discussing? Nah, I shouldn't be trying to decipher the chat. It's too complicated. It's distracting from this game against Jose Amar, who goes rook e2, which is also too complicated, but I have a feeling... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not happy, basically. I have a feeling he still has decent compensation for the pawn because of my dumb king. f6, of course, is a bit double-edged, weakening the 7th rank. But I want to bring my rook to g7 and stop having to worry about whatever was queen g5 check. And I also would like to go f4. Getting my... What do you call this? It's not really quadrangular. Is that even a word? I don't know. I'm getting my pawns in motion. Rook d7 is doing me a bit of a favor because his queen was en prise. That ends a very well played game by Mr. Jose Amar. Blundering your queen tends to be a mistake. To add insult to injury, rook c7, queen d1 won't help either. So Jose Amar resigns. Good game, Jose. Let's find a new game. Some non-premium challenges. I can't accept those. I'm so sorry. A lot of low-rated challenges. I understand. Some people don't enjoy those games, but part of the job to give every premium member his fair crushing. If you don't enjoy the games, go get yourself a coffee or scroll forward a little bit in case you're not watching this live, because Verve HP deserves to be checkmated just as much as everybody else. Queen c2 Nimzo. In my series I gave castles, but gotta mix it to win the biscuit. b6 is a Paco Vallejo specialty, which is less ridiculous than it looks. After e4 c5 the game becomes quite sharp. And after knight f3, bishop b7, here in some lines it can help that you haven't castled yet. Bishop g5, you can go h6, followed by g5 and knight e4. Well, a3 I take, and I'll go d6 with similar intentions. Should he go bishop g5, I can still harass the bishop quickly with h6, g5, put a knight on e4, without having to worry about weakening my castled king so much. Now the position looks very similar to something. How do you normally get this? It's this 4 knights line. Knight c3, bishop b4, knight f3, b6, bishop g5. He goes h3. That's extreme measures. Provoke me to take and to recapture fg. I'm not sure. I have a feeling I don't have to hurry with that. If he wants to go bishop h2, more power to him, but his pieces would be fairly passive after bishop h2. Well, I can probably find a way to improve my position. Maybe I should have put my queen on f6, not e7, but I want to leave the square for my other knight. Don't know, you could certainly argue that I should have taken on g3 once, as long as I had the chance. But this looked tempting. Now that he puts bishop on e2, I can no longer resist. Because here knight e4 or knight h5 might ask some unpleasant questions to Mr. g3 pawn. There are lines in these variations where white voluntarily goes fg, not hg. But normally that's, I believe, when black doesn't have his pawn on f5 yet. Well, here, as mentioned, this whole construction can become a little weak, and after g4, at least he has to consider knight f2. I'm not sure I'll do knight f2, but probably I will. I'm greedy. Knight f2, gf, bishop e4 maybe. Oh no, there's a check. Always watch out for checks. Don't have your knight write any checks your king can't cash. I believe that is the rule of thumb in these situations. I don't know. Verve is playing well, with all the verve in the world. Does that band still exist? Was Verve, right? Bittersweet Symphony? I'll look it up. Oh no, I can't look it up here, because then I make the screen disappear. So I need to do all kinds of magic. The Verve. Yep, Verve Bittersweet Symphony. That's what I thought. But Verve HB. What could the HB stand for? HB. Home Brune? Is Brune a word? How do you pronounce that? I don't know. HB? We will never know. Harrison Barnes? Think he has a lot of verve? See? I'm so slow today. Normally by now I should have had 5 HB jokes, but nothing. HB. Still tickling my head. Doesn't make any sense. But nah, I got nothing. I'll win this game because Verve did not show the verve required. But I still have no idea what the HP could stand for. But all right. Knight g3, he's daring me to take more of his pawns in front of my king. in order to open files for his vicious attack. And you know what, Verve? Your wish is my pleasure. Does that make sense? I am very, very greedy. Oops, my plan was to mate knight f1 with the move bishop to f3, but now I've spotted the option queen takes f3, which would be a bit of a dilemma. Knight e2 makes it easier because it allows me to exchange my bishop and grab another pawn. So yeah, it's smooth sailing from here. That's the spectacular chess you're tuning in for, ladies and gentlemen, with all kinds of mind-blowing combinations. Fascinating tactics like here, king to g7, defending the pawn on h6. Next move, rook takes c4, taking another pawn. Then rook to h8, defending the pawn on h6. I know it sometimes can get a little mind-boggling, but that's what you chime in for, to see an expert at the art of grabbing pawns and flagging opponents excel at his craft, isn't it? That was close. Rook f7. He almost blundered his queen, but then he found a square to cover the queen. Now, in true exciting style, he wants to exchange queens, give a check on b7, and then convert his 6 extra pawns in the rook endgame into a full point. I understand that sometimes it's hard to process how I do all this and how I keep speaking of myself in the third person. But, you know, it's a lifelong training? Yeah, that's what it is. And Verve HP resigned just when he could take one pawn back. But the other dudes were still very much in full effect. Oh, and I forgot to switch my Skype off as I tend to. So our dear boy Niklas Huschenbeet is talking to me. Can I talk to him live on air? Yeah, he's speaking German. I'll tell him, go away, I'm live on air. I told him to leave me the F alone, and I made a capital F. Joking, I'm on good terms with our dear boy Niklas. He says, okay then, catch you later. He didn't say catch. It's very hard to translate German stuff into English stuff, and vice versa. All right. Let's play. I need strong opponents to keep you guys engaged. I know how this works. The banter show business. He plays d4, Mr. Robert Piso. And I will try to piece him out. What can I do, Mr. Piso? I always play e6. So let's play c6 and then curse if he goes for the exchange Slav. That's the problem all the c6 dudes out there have. You are risking dealing with the exchange Slav, but it didn't happen. And instead we are playing the good old semi-Slav. That is the correct pronunciation, semi-Slav. Where I normally play bishop d3 and opponents are always surprised. But Robert Piso goes for queen c2. The quote-unquote modern mainline. Nowadays, it's a little more popular than the immediate bishop d3, and countless games, like 5, probably more than 5, maybe 5,000, haven't played from this position, castle dc, bishop c4, or not e4 here. Can you do that? Like, I understand it's a legal move, but is it a good move? I don't know, man. I have a choice between dc followed by e5 or exchanging a bunch of stuff on e4, which probably equalizes. But this looks like a little more fun. So I'll go for this one and see what happens. Not an uncommon motive in this type of situation, but in this particular position, it looks a little premature, if you ask me. And I know premature. Not sure if that joke came across the way I intended. I'm trying to grab a pawn. He will get very strong compensation. But I'm sure you know my MO by now. Always sell all your ideals and beliefs and trust in the two bishops for a single pawn at any point. He can maybe avoid giving me that pawn, but then he has to do something very... Nah, maybe he can't. I was going to say something very ugly like knight ce2. Well, the normal move to my mind is bishop b3 or bishop e2, after which I'm planning to go bishop h2. Probably bishop e2 is a bit stronger, because bishop b3, bishop h2, king h2 could even pretend to have some attacking chances after knight g4. It's check at some point. So I would go bishop e2, when I will certainly take king takes, queen d4, I don't know, bishop e3. White probably has very good compensation for the pawn, but I have the pawn. And compensation can disappear, but pawns are forever. They're like diamonds. Are diamonds forever? I never tested that hypothesis. Tough word again. Bishop e3, what did I want to do? Give this check? I think I want to give this check. Because of queen e5, f4, I have to go somewhere again. And who has the time to keep moving your queen around? It's troublesome times, kid. Well, now I gained, whatever, half a tempo. We have opposite colored bishops, but that is not an indicator for a drawish position. By any means, when the board is so full of pieces, it's got to be more about who wrestles the initiative away. It's very important for me that f5 in this position is not a legal move, because that would leave my bishop stranded. But since it's not a legal move, I'm quite confident about my position here. He probably has to go e5, but then I might get a grip on these light squares. Or have queen e6 or queen h6 first. And yeah, things are looking alright. I don't know if rook a8 is the smartest move ever made, but I thought the status quo, which is a term that I am overusing gravely and irresponsibly, has not changed all that much. Can he take on a7? Looks clumsy. Can he go f5? Looks double-edged. I don't know, I underestimated king to g1, I must admit. So I'll just blitz out the first move that came to mind and hope for the best. Same old, same old. f5 still bothers me. I'm hoping that he's gonna shy away from it because of knight e3 and then whatever. Queen d2, queen c5, all kinds of scary looking operations impending. But it is a move. Well, bishop a7 would be tempting to get the pawn back, but it looks very, very passive, and I might have some active move in reply. Queen b4 maybe, b3, rook d2, queen c1. How do I win there? Can't bluff Robert Piso. I shouldn't have bluffed. When it comes to pawns, there's a few topics you just don't make jokes about. Pawns and grabbing them, certainly one of those topics. All right. What was I calculating? Queen b4, b3. Doesn't get better by continuing to calculate it for some mysterious reason. I'll still do it. But I won't be happy with it. It's not like I'm gonna use the thinking time to come up with anything smarter, but I will use it to be deeply unhappy about my choices and briefly think about everything that went wrong to lead us to this point. And I also, and what did I think about bishop e3? Oh, I'm getting my pawn back. Yummy. The usual, all these speeches about positional considerations immediately go out the window if there's pawns to be taken. Problem is after knight c4, bishop c5, rook e8, rook b7 might work. That would be sad. Anything better to do? Rook d3 maybe? B2, rook e3, maybe that is better. Bishop c5 then. Ugh, so complicated. Rook b2, rook e3, and I can keep my material, which is always a good thing. But bishop c5 first looks stronger. When, I don't know, rook e8 probably. Yep, here we go. Rook b2, rook c3. At least I thought I was keeping my extra pawn, but the position has simplified a bit, which is not ideal if you're playing for a win with opposite color bishops. But, you know, couldn't find anything better. Rook fc1 might be better here. Who knows these things? Go away. f6 was actually dumb. I thought it was smart, but it was dumb because now after b5, which was my intention, he can go e5, making some amount of sense of his position. Sad. Still better, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure I had to allow all this. Hang on, pawn. Give me pawn. More pawn. Give me all your pawns. Now we come to the part where I push all these pawns that I took. Thanks for the game, Mr. Robert Piso. Let's play somebody new. Like T Lago. Is it Tiago or T Lago? I think it's T Lago. But I don't know. I have a feeling I's and L's look too much alike, and we should change the way the L's look. Like there's so many shapes that haven't been used for any letter. Why do we need L's and I's that really look the same? I feel the same way about M's and N's even. I always struggle when I'm writing to like how many things do I have to put on top of this? Is it 1 or 2? Is it like a camel or a dromedar? M's and N's are also way too close to each other. I don't even know if this is humor or just like, or attempts at humor. I wouldn't call it humor. I'm not that full of hubris. But I don't know if what point I'm trying to make. Anyway, the e6, a6 calm Sicilian, we call it. Something I used to play a bit more when I was younger, so much younger than today. Bishop d3, one of the three main moves next to c4 and knight c3. Bishop c5 is what I played in those golden days when I was young and carefree, studying the calm, weighing the subtleties of bishop e7 or bishop a7, trying to build the head shock against anything d6, knight f6, knight d7, b6, and take it from there. Not concerned about any early queen g4s, because, you know, nothing you can do about it. Those were the days, my friend. Since he's insisting not to play a4, and clearly, or more or less clearly, trying to attack me, I had to go slightly more aggressive than I want to. Push this pawn all the way to the b5 square. But apart from that, everything I said still holds true. I have no idea what I said. Yeah, not feeling it today. Bishop d4 slightly bothers me, but that's probably a serious Sicilian player would laugh about such worries. Rook b8 or rook c8? See, I'm not a serious Sicilian player, so I don't know the answers to such questions. I want to go knight c4 and then go bc, which I guess is what rook b8 was hinting at. But that also could cost my position some dynamic impact. Maybe b4 followed by bishop c6 is the bigger threat, actually. h4. Let's see if this works. Ambitious Pawn is asking for Logan thoughts. I thought I shared most of my Logan thoughts the other day, right? Did you miss a show, Ambitious Pawn? Is that the real scandal here? Logan is awesome. It's the first movie that got the character right. The sadness, the nightmares, the regrets, the brutality, the suicidal tendencies. No, I enjoyed it greatly, and I've complained about this many a time before, that I always fall for this trick. Oh, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. This has to be awesome. I'll go watch it. And I think, ugh, it was junk again. Why do they keep tricking me? But not this time. This one was... the whole sentence sounds idiotic already. But really, an adult superhero movie. And I enjoyed it greatly. I thought it was very, very good. The humanity. So full of humanity, wasn't it? Like when, what's the dude's name? Caliban talks to Patrick Stewart. What's Patrick Stewart called? Professor Xavier? Charles Xavier? Whatever. It's a good movie. And I've seen a bunch of good movies. I told you guys that, right? I watched Split, which I thought was good. I still haven't seen John Wick 2, which I'm sure is gonna be awesome. But I will. Nothing can stop me from finding a cinema that shows John Wick number 2, FSK 18, because of all the... is it violence? Can we call these things violence? What T Lago is doing here could be deemed violence. But I have a feeling he's not going to checkmate me. Not going to be able to do it, T Lago. Or Tiago, depending on the question if this is an I or an L. But it looks more L-ish to me. I think it's eligible. Bishop e4, bishop... no checkmates. Please don't checkmate me, T Lago. You know what that would do to me. Really hurts my feelings to get checkmated. Pramol NVS is also praising Logan. He says, we saw a lot of child violence. And Ambitious Pawn says, John Wick is entertaining but not good. What's the difference? Don't we all want to be entertained? Are you not entertained? I'm pretty sure John Wick is gonna be amazing. How do I win this game? That is another big question. Let's take this first. It's never wrong to take pawns with check. Like, there might be one or two exceptions. But who cares about those? I think this might have been one of these one or two exceptions. T Lago, bringing the heat. Bring the ruckus. I don't even know what that means. My king is still a bit unsafe. In spite of all these pawns I took, knight d4 had me more worried than this bishop h5 operation, because here I can keep everything covered. Karl Nering says, here we are now. Entertain us. I know, Karl, I'm gonna let you down today. I don't feel very entertaining. You know, they say only boring people are bored. I'm constantly both bored and boring. Pramod NVS says, Skull Island is coming up next. When's Beauty and Beast coming up? Yeah, Beauty and Beast is not a movie I would go watch by myself, but I might be forced to go see that one by the powers that be. Skull Island I'll probably watch, because I've always been intrigued about this King Kong Island. And mainly on that island, there's not just King Kong, right? There's all kinds of dinosaurs and whatnot. But people don't seem to care about the dinosaurs at all. All we want is take King Kong, or Kong as friends and patzes call him, and bring him to the big city, put him in a theater, because that's what you do with giant, violent apes. But no one is in the slightest bit interested in all the dinosaurs, which I always found strange. Alright, Queen h5 check. To show you my current state, I've been calculating for the last 10 seconds the position after King d7, Queen takes a4 check. Then it dawned on me that Queen takes a4 check might not be legal, since Queens can't really break rank. Don't have to pull rank on me, Queen. Alright, Gunner27, since you've asked 18,000 times, hi Jan, do you think Hushenbe will reach his goal to be a top 100 chess player? Yes, I think he will. He's a very serious, hard-working young man, and I think he will get there. I'm wondering if I should throw in some Hushenbe diss, but no, I'm on very good terms with Niklas. Can't even think of an insult. He's so ripped. Oh, I should probably not lose on time, right? That would lead to great regrets. Did I spend 25 seconds on King d7 and 30 seconds on Rook c5? That does not sound like responsible time management. Oh, tactics. And T Lago or Tiago, could be either, does resign because of Queen f6, Queen c1, and else there are. Do I once again say else instead of otherwise? Anyway, problems on b2. Full screen. Let's play, well, this is probably the worst proposition I could do to myself. Feed a master who's never played a game on the site and is therefore probably slightly underrated at 1500. It's called 33 GMs. Is that your head count? All the grandmasters you beat? You're trying to intimidate us with that number? You know what's more intimidating than having beaten 33 GMs? It's being a GM. Food for thought. Oh, this stuff. Can't I go Queen b6? You know I'm greedy. DC, Washington DC, Queen b2. I actually am familiar with this position, believe it or not. Not anymore. Or, no, still familiar. Not anymore. No, still familiar. This could go for a while. Well, I'm trying to remember stuff. But I do believe that I looked at this for my upcoming series on London System and other nonsense. That is the working title. Might have to change the title. But I have seen this and I thought it was fine for... What color is that? Black. e4 is the best move here. Castles, ed, knight to e4, d takes e4, queen takes d7, something, something, something. See? Booked up to the eyeballs in your little line, Mr. 33 GMs. Rook b3, not the best move. Probably because I can grab a pawn, right? Gimme! This might be the only times in the day that I feel true happiness when I can take an undefended pawn. Did that sound wrong? Nah. How could that sound wrong? One of the few true joys there are in life. a4. What do you want? You want to move your rook somewhere without this bishop dropping. Is that assumption correct? I don't know. Knight f6 looks a little clumsy. Not too clumsy. I want to prepare knight to d4 without dropping this dude. And my assumption seems to have been correct. He did want to move the rook. Am I getting checkmated here? Doesn't really feel like. I should be in lethal danger of checkmatismo. Alright, I'll do this. You'll do bishop d3. I'll probably go knight e6. Oh, I missed bishop e3. That's awkward. So did he. You'll probably go here. Oh, I missed bishop h7. I should stop missing stuff. Note to self, stop blundering stuff. Still looks like it might work, because bishop h7, knight h7, queen h5, queen c2 was barely covering this. But enough playing with fire. Let's play one defensive move to avoid all these checkmateries. Checkmateries? Queen f3. Fair enough. Any threats? Knight d7. Rook h7 doesn't work. Still gotta be careful though. I have to be annoyingly careful here. This should help, right? I think this helps. Because, you know, a piece is a piece. And I'm much more at peace with myself when I have extra piece. S. Yeah, this is the end. But I have a feeling he was in bad shape. Okay, we're continuing. And why not? Yeah, I have a feeling the position was beyond repair anyway. Well, beyond repair is maybe strong, but here after knight d7 I couldn't really see what white could do, because knight g5 is also a bit of a threat. So maybe you have to play bishop f4, but that's a horrible move to make. Yeah, I don't know. It felt a bit dangerous, but I think the main thing I blundered was here bishop e3. This would have been very, very inconvenient. And I have to do some extremely clumsy stuff to just unpin. Anyway, thanks for the game. 33 GMs. Oof, another strong player? What's with all the strong players? Next game, the one after this, I'm playing the lowest rated player I can find, just so you know. Barislav 222. It's 2222222. I got an answering machine that can talk to you. We are playing the Caro can, because we can, and I will play my pet line, the move a6. It's a fairly bad move after, especially something like f3, I never know what to do. After knight f3, bishop g4, it's still objectively bad, but at least my devious plan has been fulfilled. I could get this bishop out, and there's some point to a6 now, because there's no direct punishment like takes, bishop b5 check, whatnot. This position I've actually played in way more bullet games than anybody should ever play bullet games. Is that true? Maybe. Barislav 222 says, Jan, you're stronger than Magnus. Nothing could be further from the truth. But thank you, Barislav. I am strong enough to not blunder this bishop. He goes a3. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe he wants to stop me from pinning him with bishop b4. But I'm a humble man. I don't want to pin you. I just want to get my pieces out. Bishop e7. After e5, I want to go here. Then undermine the center by going c5. And then take all your central pawns. That kind of thing. Knight g5. So aggressive. Giving me a choice. I could take and then fight this knight away. But I think... Why do I have to preface everything with I think? I believe you guys know that it's my thoughts. Bishop g6, then bishop d3. Does that mean progress? Not sure. We'll find out. F4, so aggressive. What's with all this aggression? What have I done to deserve such brutality? CD or knight c6? I don't know, probably comes down to pretty much the same thing. I'm planning to take this pawn, make no mistake. If you allow me to make another move here, it will be bishop takes c2. My chess is really heavily based on taking my opponent's pawns. If he goes bishop e3, I might think about knight e5, fe, d4. No, I'll certainly think about this. Can I do this? Let's find out. I think it always has a crushing psychological impact that I pre-move fe6 here, because he's gonna decide on knight takes e6 after lengthy contemplation, and then I'm gonna have it pre-moved, the answer. He's gonna think, oh, he sees all my blows coming. What can I do to fight this evil man off? I'm not sure those will be his exact thoughts. It could be, yeah, it could depend on whatever the language he's calculating in, for example. But it's gonna be this notion. Castles here? I guess here. In order to achieve complete happiness, I would have to castle kingside, which won't be so easy. And he was probably going to go bishop d4 to make it harder for me to achieve that empire state of mind. Or bishop g4, targeting this, but this can be covered. Queen e7. Any tricks? I don't know. Maybe I should take first. Ugh, so many options, so little time. Yeah, the feeling queen e7 was wrong. Not like end of the world wrong, but wrongish. Feels a little passive. With Mr. King still in the center. Still not allowed to castle here, even if I tried. Another problem is long castle, which is also legal, would run into knight takes d5. So my intention was to go here, which also looks a little funny, but I can't think of anything better. It allows all kinds of things, like knight takes d5 or queen h5 check, g6, queen somewhere, queen e2, short castles, g4. But as I said, couldn't find anything better. So went with this. Queen h6. I miss queen h6, to be perfectly honest, which I don't enjoy being. This could get messy. It's time to get out the way, even though I'm losing my precious extra pawn. But sometimes there is no other way to handle your business than to give a pawn back. Even though I'm not happy with this, don't get me wrong. And I'm seriously considering bishop takes c2. It's so greedy. It's a dumb move. Nah, it's too greedy even for me. Sorry. I tend to err on the side of grabbing stuff. But this was too much even for me. Not anymore. Give me that. It's still a dumb move. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't play bad pawn grabs just for the sake of it. I mean, I'll play Good knight grabs. But instead of rook c1, he did have knight c5 covering d3 and b3 squares, and then rook c1. And the fight pretty much continues. I'm a pawn up, but my king is a little weak. So yeah, messy game against Berislav. We're somewhere around here, I had the feeling at a bad position. After e5, maybe knight d5 directly. Feels very dangerous. Anyway, thanks for the game. And I'll live up to my promise. And now look for the lowest rated player I can find in my list. Which is a long list. Thank you guys, by the way, after all these years, literally after all these years, for still being around, challenging me. Feels like I have more challenges every show, despite of all the other great Banter Blitz shows we're putting up these days. For example, there is Banter Blitz with Luke van Vely tomorrow, one of my favorites. First of all, I think he's hilarious. Secondly, I think he has a very clear classical chess style, especially with the white pieces. Well, I'm aware I'm all over the place and you're not gonna learn all that much. You know, sometimes there's something to learn, but not gonna learn all that much from me grabbing pawns. But Luke, especially with white, it's a lot of model games and model plans, so I very much recommend watching his show. And I did find Jean-Paul Sartre rated 964, which I triple his rating. That always makes me feel good about myself. My rule of thumb is if I do have 3 times your chess 24 rating, I will crush you. Jean-Paul Sartre, however, playing good moves, playing the 4 knights English with 4 e3, bishop b4, queen c2, perfectly reasonable line, or knight d5 is an interesting move here as well. So, very interesting. Jean-Paul Sartre. See the dude who died in a car accident? See, I'm showing off my education here again. Let me look that up. Sartre car. Sartre project? Maybe I'm just wrong. Sartre car accident. Oh no, that was Camus. See? I shouldn't try to sound cultured. I'll mix up these things easily. A3 is not what you're typically supposed to do because you end up with these double pawns and you give me a tempo along the way. But of course the position is still within the realms of equality, I would say. Still A3, no particular need to weaken your position like that. To illustrate, if white went queen c2 here, the main move is still bishop takes c3, surprisingly. He goes d4. What do I do? I'll keep this structure alive. Normally, yeah, there's no interest for me. Going e takes d4. You could pretend to be Nimzovich and try to play this immortal blockading game with e4 and then protect the e4 pawn 18,000 times. But d6 felt by far like the most natural move. Jean-Paul Sartre will... No, you know what, Jean-Paul? I don't want to exchange the queens. Just so you know. Not gonna be able to do it. Just as I'm not able to look into the camera. After all these years, still haven't learned where to look. There, here. I don't know. Anybody with cam experience? Any talent out there? Where do I look? So tough. G6, pretty bad move actually, yeah. Preparing bishop f5, but after e4, I've thrown this pretty miserable bishop on c1, the lifeline. And Jean-Paul Sartre, so far, is playing pretty reasonable. Maybe he's just losing on time every game. Maybe that's his one weakness. But else, fairly decent moves. Can't complain. What's going on, Mr. Jean-Paul? What was Sartre all about? Existentialism? See, I don't even know what that means. Let's try to learn something. Sartre. Jean-Paul Sartre. Jean-Paul Charles Amar Sartre. First of all, it was about lots of first names. And blah blah blah, literary, one of the key figures in the philosophy of existentialism and phenomenology. Blah blah blah. Also influenced that what? Give me the cliff notes, I can't read this whole thing. Alright, thought. Sartre's primary idea, that's what I'm looking for, is that people as humans are condemned to be free. Wow, isn't that like a contradiction? No complicated stuff, Mr. Sartre. Who has the time? Condemned to be free. I thought freedom was good. Oh, so confusing. The theory relies upon his position that there is no creator, fair enough, and is illustrated using the example of the paper cutter. Sartre said is that if one is considered a paper cutter, one would assume that the creator would have had a plan for it, in essence. Sartre said that beings have no essence before their existence because there is no creator. Thus, existence precedes essence. Is that like my thesis from the other day, which I learned from, what's my man called? Hesse, Hermann Hesse, that humans are built for living, not for thinking. That's why we suffer, thinking about all this stuff. And yeah, there's no point. We aren't made for thinking. That's not the essence. But this dude says there is no essence, right? I don't know. It's also complicated. I'm not sure I'll establish myself as a YouTube philosophy channel anytime soon. Even though I do enjoy the topic. Because it's like logic with words. Which is something I normally enjoy. Oh yeah, and I'm being told, which I actually noticed last time, but I forgot to fix, that this clock is a bit out of shape. Apologies. Jean-Paul Sartre has been hanging in there, doing well, even though he's doing well slightly too slowly, and he's worse because my knight, believe it or not, is superior to his bishop. Something, the fact that, yeah, is shown by this bishop not having any good squares. I will trade this advantage for another advantage by going f3, opening up his king. But I could also have continued purely positionally with whatever. Now after king g1, which is forced, you shouldn't spend such a long time on only moves, Jean-Paul Sartre. If you realize king g1 is the only legal move, just play it, good or bad. I'll look for... Do I look for cheap tricks? Knight f3 is of course what I could and maybe should do. But I don't wanna. Don't see a quick way to end this thing. No, g5 looks appealing because first of all, after queen d2 I can take, but also I want to go knight g6 followed by knight f4 or rook d6 followed by rook h6, and therefore Jean-Paul Sartre had to resign. Sorry, Jean-Paul. At least we've all learned something about the essence or lack of essence. The essence of this game was don't go a3 in the opening. All right, must find dude I never played. Continuing the low-rated players theme, I shall play against Pokemocker. Do you have that name because you mock the card game of poker, or do you mock Pokemon Go players and are therefore a Pokemocker? I don't know. He does play d4 and c4, which are both excellent moves, and I will meet this aggressive notion by going c5. Knight f3 is my favorite move too in this position. After cd4, knight d4. I always condemn the move e5, which is played against me frequently because I think it's just giving up a pawn for nothing really. After knight b5, d5, cd, bishop c5. Gambit people really enjoy for reasons not understandable to me at all. So I want to see how things feel from the other side of the board and play it myself just once. And I've chosen the lowest rated opponent possible for this experiment, which is an indicator about how brave I am. Knight f3 is solid but less threatening. Knight c6, I don't know what to do. d5 looks fine, bishop c5, bishop b4 check. I guess this is probably the normal way to handle things. Check? I don't know. Pokemoker so far playing flawlessly, not indicating why his rating has taken some hits. After bishop takes b4, I guess I have to go knight d b4. a3 also fine. I could take or retreat my bishop. I'll try to keep some more pieces on the board. The white is still very solid. Knight c3, take here, put the bishop on c3. Not a whole lot I can do to shake his position in the near or distant future, the year 2000. So what else can I tell you? Let's check the phone. Normally I write all my clever thoughts into my phone. I don't think I've been writing a whole lot recently. Notes. Let's see what clever thoughts are here. See, I'm writing some jokes I'm intending to steal in the future. Bishop b5, he's playing well. So it's normally like uncompleted jokes here, like thoughts. This is like taking Aquaman with you to Iraq, which I think I heard somewhere. Probably means that Aquaman is not very useful in the desert. But it would need some, you know, introduction, some context. Yeah, that's not a lot of thoughts here. Anyway, my thought is that Pokemoker is playing extremely well, which I find very unsettling. Because I want to crush you, Pokemoker. You're 1351. Roll over, blunder something, give me all your pieces. And the pawns for free. No such luck. Here's another. Is this a joke? This doesn't even make any sense. Just because you put a cat in the oven, it doesn't make it a biscuit. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Like, I need to write explanations to my own. Whatever this is supposed to be. Joke? Thought? Observation? Just because you put a cat in the oven doesn't make it a biscuit. Or here it says don't make it a biscuit. Maybe it was me trying to talk street, or maybe I heard it somewhere. I can't even remember. Anyway, thanks Jan for these contributions to the show. Your hard work is really telling. You never stop innovating, keeping it fresh. Oh boy. Why is Pokemoker not collapsing? Collapse, Pokemoker! We're here for your imminent collapse. We want to see the train wreck unfold, not you playing a good game, then losing on time. They will lead all of us questioning ourselves. But he's better than me and he's only 1300. How can I be such a terrible player? That's what people will think. Is that what you want, Pokemoker? Is that what we're aiming for here? Make all of us feel bad? To my mind, no, this doesn't work because I don't know. I was gonna say, watching Banter Blitz is like watching reality TV. We try to feel better about ourselves by watching other people's misery. That could be my misery, or should I win the game, my opponent's misery. But if you take that away from us, Pokemoker, then what is the point of it all? Probably no point if we can believe our boy Sartre. That's a bit sad too, isn't it? Knight f5, he keeps hanging around. Go away. G6 probably not a good move, weakening my structure and all that. But I got no patience for a knight on f5 right now. Not what I need in my life. See, that's what we want to see. Give me that knight. Queen retreats, they say, are the hardest moves to spot in all of chess. I'm not sure if that's true. But it did work. Thanks for the game, Poker Mocker. Well played until that bitter end. Let's play another one. When did I start this? I have a feeling I've been rambling on forever. I can't remember. Did I start at 4, 4:30? Probably at 4, right? Apologies. I'm looking for another noob. Where the noob's at? Next noob I come across, I shall play. Maybe this dude. What's... Oh, no, don't leave the game. Here we are. What's your name? Tonda Duda #1. That looks like a Facebook sign up to me. Is that how it works? If you sign up with Facebook, you're stuck with these dots in your name, right? I believe that is how it works. Let's play the Najdorf for once in my life. A3, all trendy. Look at you, Tonda Duda. Going with the trend. The trend is your friend. Following the game, Radek Wojtaszek. No, Magnus Carlsen versus Radek Wojtaszek. All booked up, Mr. Tonda Duda. In that game, d5 was played, bishop g5, d4, bishop takes f6, and Wojtaszek decided to go knight takes f6. The computer suggested g takes f6 in order not to allow... Sorry, Wojtaszek decided to go queen f6, not knight f6. The computer suggested g in order not to allow knight d5, which looks very scary. Positionally, blah, blah, blah. One problem for white here is if he starts with knight d5, bishop takes f5, picks up material. So you gotta take on f6 first. After gf knight d5 is not legal, or well, it's legal, it's not good because of bishop f5. So you gotta find a less appealing square like b1. And I will try to go after the b2 pawn very aggressively. Does that make sense? Where? Not sure after bishop c4, for example, I can actually take, and he goes b4, but that's weakening his position. I could take here, or I could just develop. I think I'll just develop. See what happens. Let's make something happen. Karl Nehring describes it as hipster Najdorf. Indeed, it is the trendy Najdorf. Are hipsters still trendy? I never know. Also, I don't fully understand what do hipsters stand for. Like, you're supposed to have a beard and like these tight jeans. And I don't know. What else is there? I honestly don't know the rules of it all. Bishop c4. I'll go away. Bit weird to castle queenside after he played b4. But against my first intention, rook c8, bothered me that after bishop e6 f, he had a check on h5. Maybe h5 was a good move. Who knows? I think I'll go h5 next. Knight g3 back. Voluntary retreat. I'll go for not very subtle attacks, like threatening bishop takes d2, followed by bishop c4. Knight g f1. Now that is a lot more subtle than what I'm up to. But is it any good? Are you supposed to move your piece all over the place? What does your king think about all these extravaganzas, Mr. Tonda Duda #1? Probably he's the first guy who signed up called Tonda Duda on Chess24. Like these Facebook names, I don't know, it confuses me why they're being displayed like this. Is there anything we can do about that? Or am I wrong about it? Could also be very wrong about it. Bishop b3. It's time to punish my dear boy Tonda Duda. But how? Queen c3? Let's find out. Feels like the position is ripe for opening up about its feelings. Something I've always struggled with. Which is why these shows really are basically therapy sessions for myself. Hang on, h4. I've never struggled that much with grabbing rooks. That has been a forte of mine historically. Therefore, Tonda Duda resigns. King e2, bishop g4 would not improve his situation. But I do believe in his defense that white was in trouble here after queen c3, dc. I'm so active, g2 was dropping. Didn't look good. Anyway, thank you for the game. Let's play one final game of the day for today. Against who? Though. I don't know, man. Too many challenges, not enough time. Maybe this dude, not dude with a dot in his name, but I'm not sure that is his real name. It might be though. Mamamoo Ededu, sporting a Kramnik picture. And let's see if he also plays like Kramnik. Against d4, d5. He goes for the Slav. Why wouldn't you play the Slav? Nowadays, more often than not, I go for this knight c3, knight f6, e3 thingy. I'm reasonably comfortable in the semi-Slav and the a6 Slav, while I'm less comfortable in the mainline Slav with dc4. Hence this move order. Bishop e7, why not? A little passive, dc4 is more typical, but bishop e7 is not a bad move. You can go for this e4, which I played, or for a slightly slower setup with b3, bishop b2, whatnot. Do I say whatnot a lot? I guess I do. Normally, I dream of getting in queen d3, b3, bishop b2, d5, checkmate, one way or another in these positions. But it tends to not happen for me. Yep, it's not gonna happen. I'm not sure rook e1 looks like a dumb move. I'm still dreaming of somehow checkmating him on h7. The problem is, even now after bishop b7, queen d3, g6, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'll continue to put some pieces in the center and hope for the best, but I'm not sure if this is any good. He goes g6, and yeah, I was wondering if there's any damage I can do, but I couldn't really see anything special. Or unspecial. I was thinking about nonsense like d5, ed rook e7, but it didn't really seem to work. So I'm gonna have to be more humble. Play this move. Not quite sure what I shall do after bishop f3, queen f3, cd4. I'll do something. Maybe some bishop f4, bishop e5, some weird maneuvers. But I'm not very comfortable with it. Not gonna lie, I do not enjoy being pawns down. And even this position I have now, I don't think is very good. Frankly, my move e4 against this bishop e7 business might not be great. Mamamoo Ededu so far is playing better than me, which is harsh reality that I have to live with. Queen c7, yeah, he's outplaying me. b3 maybe, I have to take care of this dude. Oh, knight g4, am I in trouble? I have a feeling I'm in trouble. Knight g4 at queen h3, but wasn't really great. He's talking to me, saying, "You're too fast, feeling the flag coming. I've played terrible, though. If that makes you feel any better. And also, everybody can play as quickly or as slowly as they want within the 5 minutes you're given. Often, you pay a price in quality for speed, which is what I do a lot. And also, if you're worried about getting flagged, normally it's not a good idea to chat a lot to your opponent. Piece of advice there. Time to go for some tricks. Hope those work. But it did look like they should work because I'm attacking the e7 bishop a bunch of times. And the good news is I can recapture on d1 with the bishop should I need to. Because, you know, that keeps e7 covered. Here, can I go bishop g6? Maybe I can't. Maybe I can. Who knows? I don't really know. And if I can't go bishop g6, what else can I do? Here? I guess so. This is less inspiring, but better. The usual. Same old, same old. Take some pawns, hope not to get checkmated, and then win on time. That is the template. Knight f4. f3 tends to be a good setup against these situations. My current problem is both my rooks are pinned. I do believe that's a temporary inconvenience, but it's still a little inconvenient. So I'm working on unpinning them, both of them, or getting them to protected squares at least. Rook e5, rook c7, and bishop d6 next, I guess, or depending where he goes, I might do something else. Rook e6. Nah, why mess around? I'm 3 pawns up, so if I manage to consolidate, the game is over. Even though we have opposite color bishops on the board, 3 pawns are 3 pawns. So yeah, this is not particularly interesting, even with my technique. You know what? I'll try to make it more than 3 pawns, just to be sure. And Mamamoo Ededu does resign. Thank you for the game, sir. That brings us to the end of today's show where, yeah, sorry for the general tiredness vibe. I also have a feeling it's time, for me in particular, but also for Chess24, to innovate a bit. I saw our boy Pepe Cuenca, he did some blindfold Banter Blitz. I could do that. I think I'm capable of doing it. I'm not sure how interesting that is for you guys to watch, but Let me know. Also, let me know if you have other ideas, which probably I'll mock you for it and then continue doing the same old, same old. I have a feeling, yeah, should be doing something else. I'm currently completing a storm. I'm working on the 4th part of my video series until the big live tournament season resumes in April with Granca Chess Classic. After that, at some point, we have Norway Chess. So there's action coming up. But for next month, let me know your ideas so I can mock you for them and then do nothing about it. Thank you guys for watching. I shall see you the next time, I guess. Until then, bye-bye.